Welcome to the Live It Right podcast, hosted by John and Caitlin Lindsay. We're going to be talking all things health and wellness, from food, fitness, relationships. So if you want to live your best life and live it right, join us for this conversation.
So whether you're a health enthusiast, a busy professional, or someone looking to achieve a more fulfilling life, you're in the right place. Tune in, subscribe, and join our community as we explore the path to living it right.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back to the Live It Right podcast. We are on episode 37, and today I'm just going to be talking to John about his most recent ultra marathon, which was last weekend. It was the Heartbreaker 50-miler. It was right outside of
Old Fort, North Carolina.
Yeah. So about an hour from us. But I know you have some thoughts on this. So I'm going to let you just go ahead and dive in. I do have a couple questions, but I'll go ahead and let you dive in on it. What you want to recap?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I was super happy with my effort. I think, some concerns of mine coming from my last race where I just didn't feel prepared. Didn't feel like I had done enough training. A lot of that was because I had rolled my ankle, so I didn't have, the ability to do long runs. And what you get out of long runs, not only are you building this physical capacity to handle long runs, you're kind of callousing your mind to handle long runs too. You're getting more familiar with fueling strategies, hydration strategies, like all that stuff matters so much. So I think the training I was able to put into this went really well, and it showed itself where I only had one small low moment during the race, and during the 100K I had a lot of low moments. So I think looking at it from that standpoint, like I was just pumped with how I was able to maintain good vibes the whole time. I could tell near the very end, those vibes were starting to go down. But I think that shows the training I did was appropriate for this distance.
And that's very natural. And as a spectator, I was his crew, but also as a spectator, you see a lot when you're watching. It's like you literally watch phases of people. So as a crew member, like I get to be at certain mileage points at aid stations. But you do see I saw the same people aside from you throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And it is interesting for a very positive person meaning John, to be able to hold those type of good vibes, positive vibes the whole time is very impressive, because I think that's a piece of endurance training, especially in terms of ultras, that people overlook. Because trust me, I saw a lot of the spectrum as far as mindset. There were a few things that I heard that were kind of scary to hear. But you don't know that someone's going through it. It's not like watching someone, their body is like not moving anymore. It's like you guys are just going and going and going, but your mind's not necessarily there. And some of the stuff that I heard was a little crazy. So that's like...
that probably spoke to the weather that day, because it was a hotter day than normal. Like it was, and especially it was in mid-March, and typically around here, mid-March,
not warm.
You're not getting... I think the high that day was mid to high 70s.
I was sweating sitting there.
And your body's just not adapted to that yet. Mid 70s in mid-March feels probably like 85 in June or July, or 90 in June or July. Like your body's used to working in cooler temperatures. So when you get hit, and it was a sunny day, so near the end of for me, kind of almost midway and beyond, like that heat was a big factor. And so I think a big reason why I was able to maintain good vibes is I was able to control the controllables. So nutrition and hydration, most specifically. Like I was very not lucky, I prepared for it, but also I was actually lucky from a hydration standpoint in that I took those electrolyte,
the capsules.
The Redmond. Yeah. I don't know if they're called Relight, but the Redmond capsules, because you can almost, my goal was to take 2 of them every hour, which would have been about 800 milligrams of sodium, I think. Mm-hmm. But you can kind of feel it. After a couple hours in, I was like, all right, I need 3 an hour, or I need 1 every 20 minutes. all right, it's been 30 minutes, I'm taking 2. Like I could kind of feel like I never cramped, which is amazing for that length of time and how hot it was. But I could kind of tell that my body was just getting a little tight, a little fatigued in moments when it shouldn't be. And I was popping those things like crazy. So I think that was a controllable from what I saw that a lot of people maybe mismanaged or underestimated.
Well, and I think in endurance sports, period, I mean, hydration is such a huge component that like you have to train hydration. You have to train.
Yeah. I have no problem drinking.
Right.
That's
and that was one thing that I was,
benefit.
well, that's one thing I was thinking. So like 2 things that you've mentioned, one being the temperature. So mind you, I showed up in a full, like a sweatsuit in the morning. It was chilly. And I had stripped down to a tank top and shorts and I was sweating as a spectator. So think of the athletes that are running in that. A lot of times you're probably not seeing that drastic of a temperature change.
Yeah, well, I think it's just time of year. Your body's not used to that warm of a day, and you're doing that much physical activity. So,
but then the hydration piece I was going to say is, it's good that you had those capsules because the beauty of the capsules is it's giving you the electrolytes that you need without having to consume fluid. And I know you're going to touch on this, how much fluid you consumed, but you consumed a lot. And there is a point I have seen with endurance sports is when someone doesn't hydrate correctly, they can they look like they're blown up, like they're swollen. Their body is inflamed. So if you don't dial that in, it can end up hurting you physically too. So it's good that you did that duo of like the capsules plus the actual like electrolytes in fluid.
I don't know the science behind this, but I honestly felt like I was sweating so much and I was so thirsty that I wasn't ever at a risk where I was going to over-consume electrolytes.
Yeah, your body looked good.
Them very like, you know what? Yeah, I could get 3 down. I'll take them. I was like,
well, I'm glad you could swallow them.
I had a lot, so I was like, I was being very generous with taking them, and it seemed to work out well.
That's good.
But yeah, let me, I guess, kind of walk through it. So this was a 5:30 a.m. start, so it started in the dark, and that's
not your favorite.
I'm just not used to it. The only other time I ran in the dark was the last ultra I did, and so I really, going into the next one, that's a goal of mine, is to do more early morning runs where you have to run with a headlamp, because in general, the start of a race, you're going to have a little nerves anyways. You're running around a lot of people, like there's just more variables to be aware of. And so you throw in that being in the dark too, it just makes it takes a while to get comfortable. Like it takes a while for your heart rate to go down, to settle in. And so...
Well, I was actually going to ask one question is, you mentioned running in the dark. How long did it take the group to dissipate and spread out from the start?
I was right around people until the first aid station, which was almost 10 miles, I think. Yeah. And there was a couple low moments where I could see people. I wouldn't be right with people, but I was pretty close to people the majority of the time. So, and that 10 miles was a little more than 50% single track. The other 4-ish was like a mix of gravel road and paved road. So, that took a little while to get comfortable, but at the same time, there's probably a benefit to getting your heart rate jacked up and like forcing yourself to be really alert first thing. But then right after first aid station, then it's a huge climb. And that was great. I had planned on not even attempting to really run it at all, just get the poles out and go. There was a couple miles, not super serious inclines and a couple flats in that like 5-ish mile stretch. So I was able to run a little bit. Legs felt good. My least favorite section of the course was there was an aid station at the top of that climb. And then we got on this old toll road. I think that's actually the name of it. And it was just large, loose boulders, large, loose rocks everywhere. So it was tough to get like a good footing. And we were on that for like maybe 2 miles. And that just sucked. It was technically downhill, but you couldn't get comfortable. So it kind of threw you off. But then it went into some sweet single track and descended all the way into the town of Montreat, which was cool, really good vibes at the aid station there. Another variable came up that I was prepared for was I could tell I was starting to get a hot spot on the bottom of my foot, and I I had brought this awesome blister tape because I had gotten some blisters in training, and I was like, even though it was this big ass roll of tape, I was like, I don't care how much it weighs, I'm carrying it because it might come up, and it worked out well. I mean, it took me, one thing to note for next time is I should have put that tape and my extra pair of socks in Ziploc bags because they were both soaked just from sweating through my bag on my back. So that took a second to like unravel the tape, get to a dry spot, but all in all, totally worth it to take care of that blister there.
How did you, I know, because we're now through 2 aid stations, how did you feel about your timing at those first 2? Like,
so we're actually, that
3
that was
then.
the 3rd aid station
Okay,
so I felt good. I mean,
you went through pretty quickly
felt
with
pretty
me.
solid about my pace throughout.
Yeah.
At least till this point. Right after this aid station, the 3rd one, started probably the steepest, it definitely was the steepest climb, and that was, I'm glad I didn't know that trail was like that, because I probably would have been like worried about it and maybe like tried to pace myself or something before it. But it was one of those trails, it's just stairs, physical wooden stairs, and also like rock stairs for, I mean, it felt like a good mile stretch, and it's just, it is what it is. No one's doing that fast. Like, you just have to get through it. So, felt like a good win getting through it. And then it's a decent amount more uphill, slower climbing until we got back to a previous aid station. And then we're descending that climb.
Had you already gone through Montreat at this point?
Yeah. The aid station where I switched my socks and did the blister tape was in Montreat.
Oh, okay.
And then so we climbed out of Montreat. We got back to the aid station that's at the top of Heartbreaker Climb. So that Heartbreaker Climb is what I climbed right after seeing
And you had a buddy
the first
too.
time.
Yeah. On the way back.
Yeah, I ran with a couple people here and there.
Yeah.
Which is always awesome. Always everyone's positive, cheering each other on, and so that's always been a great feature of these races. And then I got that climbing took a little bit out of me because I also ran out of water. And this is the only low moment I had, was I ran out of water and I was just unsure how close I was to the aid station. So I did kind of freak out a little bit, and I probably slowed my pace a little bit just to be mindful of not to get exhausted or anything.
How far did you end up being? It wasn't
It was 15 minutes, which is
that's
fine.
not bad.
Yeah, it's easy to push that. But I just didn't know. Like, and one thing, talking to people after the fact, is I easily I will get a better watch at some point, and you can have like
aid stations
you can have
locked in.
everything on a map, and you can, which would be great for.
Yeah.
I feel like as you get just fitter, and you get more prepared for these things. Like, that's a nice thing to know. So got to that aid station, got plenty of water, and then we had like a 5 miles of descending, which was awesome. And I was able to run it fast, and I turned on some good tunes. Like, that was a nice lift.
What is fast descending for people that don't, like, what is that for you?
I'd have to go back and look, but I was definitely like I think I was running in like the 8:30 to 9:30 minute miles pace.
For people that don't know that's fast.
If I was on fresh legs, it would be significantly faster than that. Yeah. But I was just stoked to be running. Like, anyone who's trail ran downhill, running in a way that I was kind of just letting gravity take me. Like, it didn't feel like I was forcing it. I was just like, your heart rate's dropping. Like, you're just kind of in the zone. So it was a good, like...
That seems like that's from good training too, because you don't...
I was passing people. Like, it was a nice pace.
There's a fine line, I'm sure, between like even understanding your body when it's fatigued, what you're able to like let it go, because you can hurt yourself on downhill.
I mean, if you're really like in the 100K, there was sections of downhill like I was running, but my legs were so fatigued, like I was using the poles for assistance. Like, it was just a sloppy mess. So the high I got from that descent probably carried me through the end. Like, I just felt good, because then when we got to the next aid station, I think it was right at about mile 40-ish. And in your mind, you're like, all right, less than 10 miles to go.
So that was before me then?
Yeah, it was the previous aid station. Okay. And that section was a little difficult. It was rolly gravel, but you know, it was 50+% runnable.
Yeah.
Was pretty exposed and it was hot, but luckily at that aid station, they made sure to be like, they had a little graph. Hey, you're 6 point something miles to the next aid station. You're going to gain over 1,000 feet. Here's kind of what the elevation profile looks like. And that was good to see because I made sure I was like, all right, I'm going to pound a little water here, also fill it up. Like since I had ran out of water at that one aid station, I was like, all right, I'm going to be totally prepared for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I killed those 2 liters in between there and the last aid station.
So up to this point, you were good on nutrition.
Yeah, that section started when gel started to suck. And I think it was partially the heat too.
And I'm sorry, you did mention, so he was all gels, all fluid. Like
I would drink Coca-Cola and ginger ale at the aid station, so calories there.
Yeah.
But
you were able to keep
source
it
of
down.
Nutrition was carbs fueled gels, 50-gram gels, normal ones and caffeine ones.
So you made it through 40 miles before it kind of started to...
And I probably had 2 gels during that section between miles, like, let's call it 40 and 46. And I had to, like, consuming one gel was like a 5+ minute process because I'd have to be like,
tell yourself to swallow.
All right, let's get 25% of it down, swallow it, chase it with some water, like really, like don't throw up. I think a big piece of that was the heat, like just I hadn't trained in that hot of conditions, and I don't know if those gels were warm. I can't really remember, but they were like just sitting on my body, so I'd have to imagine they weren't like, it's just a warm, jelly, gross mess. So, but I felt like I didn't finish the race feeling like I was depleted of fuel. So
you just had a little bit of trouble downing at the last 10 miles.
Yeah, I didn't have a gel from 46 mile on. I probably didn't have a gel the last 90 minutes of running, but I didn't feel like I wanted one or needed one.
That's good.
So,
and so just, I'm asking these questions for people who maybe have never done anything like this, to where, I mean, it's one thing to run a marathon or something like that, but when you're consuming all of this for 50 miles over the span of, 12 hours, food aversion and that, just like the nauseous and stuff like that. And the thing I was going to mention, because I asked him, does anything say, nothing sounded good? Like you didn't want to eat.
It took me, like we drove an hour. We were almost home, and then I was like,
he told me don't bring up food.
Yeah, and then I felt okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to like stop moving and be still for a while to let your like equilibrium get back in check. But yeah, so saw you at 40, the last aid station, and
you looked good.
Yeah, I looked good. This is something I think I could have worked on. Is like I knew when I hit you, I was on, like, my goal going into it was under 12 hours, and I don't know what exact time it was there, but I was like, oh, I know I'm getting under 12 hours. And I wish I would have pushed it like I had, because...
You did kind of like, he was just like making conversation with me.
Yeah, I probably could have saved easily 2 minutes just at the aid station.
Yeah.
And then I easily could have pushed my pace just a little bit and probably overall finished like anywhere between like 5 to 7 minutes faster. And do you remember what place I came in? Like maybe 27th?
Yeah.
That sound right?
It was 11 hours, 52 minutes, but I can't remember the distance between you and the person before you.
That was going to be my point, is I think I came in 27th.
Yeah.
And if I would have ran 5 to 7 minutes faster, I think I would have passed like 4-ish people, which just would have been cool. I mean, that was, you don't know how close these people are because you're in the middle of the woods, but
that's part
and hindsight's 2020. Overall, super happy with it. But once I finished, I was like, dang, I could have. I wish I would have shot for 11:45. Like I wish that would have been my goal, because that would have kept me honest.
But I feel like at the same time with these kinds of races, you say I'm sure you could have made up some time, but there's also like at that end, like I'm telling you, between that last aid station I saw you, which was what, 4.7 miles, something like that, and the finish line, people bonked. And you don't want that to happen.
I definitely passed people.
So, but that comes from reps. That comes from
that comes from
racing
sure
more.
The people who I'm thinking I might have been able to pass, probably would have said the same thing as me. They're like, oh, I wish I would have pushed it a little bit to get a little further. So,
but you don't know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's typical. It's like any race anywhere. It's like sprint through the finish or whatever cliche line people say about a race is finish strong.
Well, he kept his food down.
Yeah.
You looked strong crossing the finish line. You were not inflamed. You weren't puffy. It seems like you really dialed in nutrition and hydration for sure.
Yeah. So I estimated I probably drank over 12 liters of total water. And I was, of the majority of people I interacted with, most people only had, I had a 2-liter bag, bladder. Most people had 2 half-liter bottles. So 1 liter total, that's it.
That is bizarre.
I don't see how people survive that. I mean, I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah. But I've always been a
camel.
water consumer.
Yeah.
Like any big bike ride, anything, I'm like, especially if I get hot and start sweating, it's like the floodgates are open and my body's just like, give me water, give me water, give me water. So, because like I would have loved to have ran that first section without the bag, because the 2 liters filled all the way up, I think is 7 pounds.
You had a quarter left? Was it? There was like a quarter left. You did not drink the whole thing.
At the very end?
No.
Oh, at the first aid.
I think you had a quarter of it in there.
Yeah, so that was the only aid station where I didn't suck down the entire 2 liters.
Yeah. Well,
everyone else I crushed 2 liters filled up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the
lack thereof of packs that certain people had was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because like that would be my greatest, like, I mean, there's certain things of like, yeah, if you get like aversions to like your gels, that's one thing, but like not having water would not make me
It psychs me out too, even when I'm running low and I'm unsure where the next fill up station is, like it makes me uncomfortable. So
but I think you looked good at the end. You looked strong. I mean,
I don't felt way better than I did after the 100K.
I feel like you had that perfect balance of like, you may have been able to give it, but I don't feel like you didn't have a lot left in the tank.
No, definitely not.
But you also weren't like keeled over, hobbling over the finish line. Like he ran across the finish line.
I mean, if I had any, it's literally like I think I could have ran it 5 to 7 minutes faster. And part of that time is just being faster at the last aid station.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I was chit-chatting with you. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I was too comfortable. That was my problem.
Yeah.
But
well, so, we finished up. We didn't talk about food for the hour drive home. Got back. And now that you are, was a week and a half out? Mm-hmm. What has recovery looked like? How do you feel like you've recovered in comparison to the last race? Like, where's your head at with that?
I feel great. Last week I just ran twice, 2 easy trail runs with minimal elevation. And that was on, I think, Wednesday and Thursday. Mm-hmm. So, and I could still feel lots of heaviness in my legs, but I did a ton of biking last week and that felt fantastic. Like that really does. That's such a nice compliment to running, because you can work your muscles in a way that totally feels like you're maintaining and building endurance, but it also feels like it flushes away the soreness that comes with running. So a lot of biking. Overall felt great. I know I got a great night's sleep Saturday night, the night of the race, felt great. Like I think my sleep was kind of shaky the night after the 100K. Which probably would lead me to believe I was just so out of it, like that my body's just, I don't know. It's tough. When it's tough to fall asleep, it's maybe an issue.
Yeah.
But slept great the couple nights right after the race. So good sign there. I mean, overall feel great. And it's just general soreness. It's not like, oh, my left knee's super effed up or my right hip feels crazy tight. It's just global full leg soreness. So
but he went
totally normal.
Other than running, you went straight back to biking, straight back to mobility, straight back to strength work, but totally scaled them back.
Yeah,
right.
Deloaded. Yeah. I would say I deloaded strength work, and how I typically do that is I just either use less weight or use no weight on movement. So if I'm doing split squats, instead of holding 40-pound dumbbells, I'm just holding like a 12-pound med ball really tight to my body.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the movement and a touch slower, focuses on range of motion, kind of unwinding the muscles, stuff like that. So yeah, strength work felt pretty good. And yeah, I mean, overall, I can tell I'm fitter.
For sure.
And part of being fitter is you recover faster from stuff like this. So,
any other notes on recovery or anything you do different next time? I mean, I feel like 48 hours later, I was like, did you just actually run the 50 miles? You were moving well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think I definitely got a lot of walks in too. I always like that when you're not doing runs. Yeah, saunas, little massage work. I like my lacrosse ball technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I'm not already doing anyways.
For sure.
Yeah, bounced back really well.
Well, that's good. And then so pivoting just a little bit. So now you've done the 50K. That was before. So you've done 50K. You've done the 100K. You've done the 50 miler. What distance is your favorite? Don't think about the actual race itself and your fitness level. Which of those distances did you like the best?
I mean, it's hard since I've only done one of each. It's impossible for me to like disassociate the effort I gave.
That's true.
But I mean, I would be curious to do that 50K again now, just knowing what I know and being able, because I felt like I did pretty okay in that, given zero experience and not a ton of training volume. But I mean, I also this 50 miler of the three I've done, this was the most scenic and coolest course. Like had the best variety, had the best vibes, best weather for sure. So all those things like, and it's cool. One thing I hated about the 100K is I finished in the dark.
Started in the dark, finished in the dark.
I like finishing when the sun's still out. Like it's still like you got the evening and it's.
Well, now that I have to ask, because you start and you finish in the dark, but one of your 2026 goals is a 100 miler.
I'm definitely doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to be,
one of my big takeaways. So my two biggest takeaways from this race were one, kind of the finish strong thing.
Yeah.
And number two is run more in the dark.
Yeah.
And so I think when I do a 100 miler, I'll definitely in the prep for that do plenty of running. Not plenty, but at least some running in the dark. I want to do that 48 by 4, where you run 4 miles. Mm-hmm. You run 4 miles every 4 hours in a 48-hour block. So you run 48 miles, but inevitably, like I would guess at least 3 or 4 of those 4 milers are going to be
in the middle
in
of
the
night.
dark. Yeah. And you're going to be fatigued mentally out of it. Like you'll have to deal with a lot of shit mentally. So, I don't love running in the dark now, but it's something you can definitely train. I mean, there's cool vibes to it, but my lack of experience, you can just tell you're not experienced. Like that's all it is.
So those were your two takeaways. Would you, is there anything else that you feel like you would do different moving forward, just from an ultra marathon standpoint, other than running I feel like you dialed things in so well for this particular race.
Yeah, I mean, we barely touched on it, but caffeine gels were huge too.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I would definitely continue to use those. I think I took 4.
Yeah.
At like hour 3, 5, 7, and 9.
And we'll rewind it back to the 100K. So like I had taken a mocha pot to make espresso. You wanted it.
No
like
caffeine.
You guys know, like we're coffee drinkers.
We're used to consuming caffeine.
And so he only that day had
one espresso, maybe 2.
Maybe. I actually don't think you finished the second one.
Okay.
So this one, we had a double here before we left. And then you sipped on, I checked it when we got out of the car. You had only drank half of the one. She technically had like 3 shots. But mind you, we got up at 2:45 in the morning. So.
For this one.
Yeah. For someone that is.
It was kind of nice to have that drive.
Yeah. But for people that are used to consuming caffeine,
that
was one thing.
It really helped. I felt like the way I laid it out too, I just had a nice steady drip of caffeine.
But you have to do that too. Because apparently one of our friends also said, like, you can overdo the
right. Yeah,
caffeine
yeah.
and ruin, like it'll
I
go
was
the
I was
opposite
kind of
direction.
on a strict 2 hours, 2 hours, and
Yeah.
it was nice too because I would kind of, as I knew that was coming up, I would almost look forward to that gel, even as I
Yeah.
was getting like tired of them. I was like, oh, but I get the caffeine hit, so it was a good way to kind of play like a mental game with myself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you want to mention anything about. I know you're still looking at a few different races, haven't confirmed one, but
Yeah, I'm on. I won't say anything because
Yeah.
I don't think any of it matters, but I'm on the wait list of one, and I'll probably give that a couple more weeks to see where I am in the pecking order, and if it doesn't look likely, I'll sign up for something else. But
you're shooting for what time of year, ideally?
early summer,
Yeah.
like June, the month of June would be ideal. I mean, I
That-
just think I've got good volume
Yeah.
going right now. I'd rather like continue the positive momentum before.
The fall.
Yeah, just I might feel like I naturally want to pivot. Like another one of my goals is run a sub 20-minute 5K.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get caught up in doing like too much speed work and be like put these long runs on hold.
Those
Like I
are-
feel like I've got good
Yeah.
volume in my legs right now, and I should just continue that and knock out a 100-miler.
Yeah.
While I'm on this just good trajectory.
Yeah.
And
Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. It was sick. I mean, shout out. I hope I pronounce this correctly. Tanawa.
They put on a good race.
Yeah, all three races I've done have been through them, and they do a really nice job. It's
And
great vibes.
Yeah, I love that they start with a banjo in the morning, which is pretty cool. So they do a really good job. They're very organized. Good group of people always sign up. Like the
it's
people were
always
so
positive.
nice.
Yeah, I ran with a lot of cool people.
The people at the aid stations I met, awesome people, just super positive, super, they truly want to be there to help.
Yeah,
And
it's a competition, but at the same time, it is like it's so long. Like anytime you see anyone, you just want to be
Camaraderie,
motivated.
yeah.
Whether they're passing you, you're passing them, or you're running together. Like you
Yeah.
can't help but be like, we're in this together. Let's go. And this course was sick too, because in Montreat, the little town we came out of, like that really steep trail is what appeared to be a very popular, just general hiking trail. And so there was so many Gen Pop people just hiking it that they were all like cheering us on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
You didn't say that to me.
That made the that super steep section sick because like there was just good vibes all up and down it.
That definitely helps
Yeah.
because for 85% of that race, you're not seeing many people other than runners. So that probably was a
yeah.
nice little boost. Anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
yeah, it was great. Thanks for crewing me. Any insights from the crew?
It's a stressful job because you lose people on the tracker most often. But I think the thing that I'm most worried about is like, you don't know if your person's going to show up and have ripped a shoe, or their toenails are falling off. They have been vomiting for the last 10 miles and can't keep anything down. What do you do?
Right,
So
yeah.
like, it's not just the nerve.
You
It's,
hope they come in with positivity and yeah.
well, it's not just that. It's like, I'm there to help, but like, if you don't know what you don't know what they're going to be arriving as, like, I mean, I don't like, you have to be prepared, but it's fun. There's also, I will say from a crew perspective, like the group of people I was with, they're so willing to help one another too.
Yeah.
Like it's a very, I don't know. It's the like you said, the vibes are just really cool at these. I didn't know what to expect. It's very different from like bike races that you've done. Like a few bike races that I've gone to. Like these are just, I don't know. No really other notes on the crew. I'm sure with the 100-miler, I will probably have, I'm probably going to reach out to some people to talk to them about how.
You might be pacing me for some of it though.
So learning,
Different
like
variable.
dealing with both, like
Yeah.
just different variables, much longer amount of time, being better prepared in case X, Y, and Z does happen. I'm just very lucky that you take good care of yourself because there were other people that did not.
I think the heat just threw a wrench in a lot of people.
I mean, a lot of people DNF'd.
Yeah.
They just dropped. But yeah, so preparation goes a long way. But when you lock in that 100-miler, I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
But we need to do a Q&A.
Yeah,
of some
that'll
sort.
probably be the next
So
one.
send us some questions, topics, whatever. I have some ideas of things we can talk about, but we're always looking for new ideas.
Cool. Thanks for
Alrighty.
listening.
See you guys next time.